the setup for this modified Bruce Bingham mast raising and lowering setup the way that I have it. I've put a thimbled eyelet up here, and I want it about as tall as I can get it, but I also need to have it so that I can pass my guy through the eye. In other words, down here it'd be very easy, but I don't have a lot of leverage, not a lot of support. If I go up here, I can barely reach it. So right here is fine. I want to have this guy long enough that I can pass it through and do my actual hitch down here so that I can get some leverage pulling, because this needs to be nice and tight on both of these sides.
Right.
This guy goes down to, just like on Bruce's diagram, a bridle. So I have the thimble is in line with the axis of the tabernacle bolt, the heel bolt of the mast. Basically intersects this on both sides. I've got a forward and an after leg. I like to use Dyneema. It's exceptionally strong. The braking strength on this right here is almost 3,000 pounds. The whole mast, etc., probably weighs 80 pounds, and then with leverage, it's a 27-foot tall mast. We're maybe dealing with trying to support 800 pounds possibly. So, as the mast is going down. But the main thing is you need to have not only lineal control from fore and aft for the mast coming up and down, but since this tabernacle is not that stout, it's fairly strong, but we're in a harbor here, there are wakes, you want to make sure that you have control of the mast thwartships. So that's what this does right here. It goes up, as you can see up where that eyelet is, and then the cap shroud, the upper shroud, I will back it off, and that will control the top of the mast. So we have lateral control on these two lines. This one, it'll be slacked away, will naturally slack itself as the mast comes down, as this one will too. We have, if you look at the boom, I've got some boom guys going to a bail, which is about mid-boom. On Bruce's version, he has the boom guy going all the way to the end of the bail. And to me, that's a little bit too long. I like to have things somewhat triangulated right in this area. So if you look down the length of the boom, you'll see the bail, and then you see the topping lift and the main sheet. Those two are going to support the mast going down. That's going to be my control. I have at the bow, take a look at the bow, I have got the jib downhaul. Jib downhaul, I have rolling hitch onto the forestay. When we get ready to slack this, I will throw a little bit more slack into the forestay, take some tension on the downhaul, and when I cast off the backstay, the mast will be supported by the main sheet topping lift, the downhaul preventing the mast from going aft, and then the guy and the cap strap. So when I want to lower the mast, I will slack the main sheet at the same time I will be hauling on the downhaul, because it does take a little bit of work to get the mast going. Once it gets down past its tipping point, then I can stop hauling on the downhaul and I just concentrate on slacking the main sheet. And it's a very simple operation. The reverse is when you raise the mast. Everything is just done in reverse. The number one thing though is you want to make sure all of your gear is free to run. You want to make sure your halyards are disconnected from any deck leads, because this unit has to come down without anything hindering it. If you have VHF wires or any communication Windex wires coming down from the mast, you need to disconnect those. One thing that I do is I like to use these pool noodles that are like 99 cents at Walmart and Home Depot, and inside them I put the turnbuckle, and then I'll tape it like this one here for when I'm traveling, and that way it doesn't hurt the mastic and bang and everything else. I'm going to be transporting the boat from beautiful Galveston to gorgeous San Rafael, north of Sausalito in the San Francisco Bay Area. California boy and I'm returning home. So anyway, this is going to be a video of how this is done. Thanks. On to part 2. Cause trouble. So now, making sure that my main sheet is tight. I can go ahead and slack away on the backstay. I'm not going to cast it all the way off. I'm going to leave it as a bit of a preventer until I know everything is working. So it's fairly slack, but in case anything would happen. Okay, so now I've got the guys all secured. We should be ready to go. So here's the downhaul. My main sheet's ready to run. We are good to go. Actually need the winch handle on this one. I'm not going to cast this off until I know everything's working. Go ahead and tap this on. Secure that better for transport once the mast is down. Okay. What's happening, the heel of the mast, as it's raising up, it's raising the whole mast. That's where you have that long slot. So one of the first things I did was back off the bolt. So if you take a look, you can see the bolt will rise up. Nice and easy. I'm taking it, making sure everything is looking good. Well, you can see how much control. I'm doing this with a finger and a thumb. Okay. I'm going to stop here. Now I'm going to cast off the boom bang. I like to have that as an added little safety. Okay, boom bang's gone. Want to make sure that I pick up my 2 coins. This is a 100 drachma piece from Greece and a 100 or 50 Pacific French franc from Tahiti. So those will go back underneath when we stuff the mast. All right. Now we'll just lower her down onto the pulpit. Okay. And there we go. So now, done. Now it's just striking everything, taking the bolt out, removing the boom, and then I will shift the mast. I've got a pull noodle for the push pit, and we'll center the mast. I'll put a little wood blocking to support the center of the mast at the step and secure her for travel. And that's it. Hopefully it's pretty self-explanatory, and thanks for watching.